From teens breaking into a Nashville home for a wild party to a high-speed chase ending with a felon's arrest. Meanwhile, 9 death row inmates are suing the state over its execution methods, and new details have surfaced on the 2023 Covenant school shooter's mental state.
We will have all that and more on this episode of APSU TV News.
Welcome back to your APSU TV News. I'm Jasmine Logan.
And I'm Michael Dangerfield. More than 200 homes are damaged in the wake of last week's flood and storms. Clarksville now reports the city and county mayors have declared a local state of emergency after back-to-back severe weather outbreaks hit the region. Some of the hardest hit areas include the Farmington subdivision off Rossford Road, the reserves at Kirkwood, Woodstock, and Alberta Drive. Emergency crews also had to evacuate families from flooded homes on Saturday. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers released water over the weekend, causing the Cumberland and Red Rivers to reach flood stages. Families who need help can contact the United Way at 931-647-4291.
A recent police report reveals more about the mental condition of the shooter in the 2023 Nashville Elementary School attack, as well as the motive for the violence. The investigative report from the Metro Police Department shows 28-year-old Audrey Hale was hiding mental health issues from loved ones while planning out the incident years prior. The 50-page report details the attacker's research, plans for the massacre, and avoidance of mental health providers before the Covenant school shooting took place. The shooter's writings have not been released to the public due to an ongoing legal battle. The report says Hale, who previously attended the school, had hoped to have at least 40 victims and live on in infamy. Police also discovered that Hale was determined to keep the plans hidden by paying for the materials in cash. Hale had also cleared out their history browser after searches related to the attack. The mother of one of the survivors, Mary Joyce, shared how the school taught the students their lockdown protocol to stay safe in these situations, which ended up saving lives. 9 death row inmates are suing the state of Tennessee, claiming its new drug used in lethal injections violates the 8th Amendment. The inmates argue that studies have shown the use of the drug pentobarbital qualifies as cruel and unusual punishment. The inmates' attorneys say the use of this drug fills the lungs with liquid and could feel similar to drowning. However, the Tennessee Supreme Court has scheduled 4 of their executions for this May. The lawsuit also says the Tennessee Department of Correction has not changed the process of executions despite being told to do so by an independent investigator and Governor Bill Lee. Executions have been paused over the past 3 years in Tennessee due to the proper lethal injection protocol being ignored. The chemicals used in these injections at the time were not fully tested before use. Additionally, the people in charge of overseeing the drugs are accused of falsely testifying under oath that the drugs were being properly tested.
A man in Nashville has been booked into the Metro Jail Wednesday afternoon on charges that he assaulted a police officer. Metro Police tells WSMB4 that 33-year-old David Matthews followed a woman into a lobby of an office building on Deerdick Street trying to ask her out. When she refused and did not want to leave, security teams took Matthews into custody on charges of criminal trespassing. When Metro Police arrived on the scene, an officer grabbed Matthews. Police say Matthews then proceeded to turn around and punch the officer in the mouth. Matthews is now charged with assault on law enforcement and trespassing. A convicted felon is back behind bars after investigators say he drove away from police in a stolen SUV. Law enforcement put out an alert Tuesday for other police departments to keep an eye out for Deterius McLean. Williamson County sheriffs picked up the pursuit on Interstate 65 southbound. Officers say McLean was driving a Ford Explorer that was stolen out of McMurray County. The Williamson County Sheriff's offices tell WKRN2 that while a helicopter kept eyes on the suspect, many different teams worked together to apprehend McLean. Body cam footage shows after the chase, officers bark commands to McLean as he lies on the ground. McLean now faces multiple new charges, including evading arrest and reckless endangerment.
The CDC says nearly 3 million U.S. adults have epilepsy, and for about 1/3 of those patients, medications do not stop the sudden seizures. but new research could offer new options to those with the most severe forms of epilepsy. On Wednesday's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on a new study aimed at, quote, healing their brains.
It's a condition that's unpredictable. Epilepsy causes electrical storms in the brain, disrupting a person's ability to control their body.
It's difficult to live your life, to do predictable things, to have the confidence that I can safely drive to work.
Dr. Jonathan Parker with Mayo Clinic calls traditional surgery options for those with uncontrolled epilepsy destructive, as they include procedures like removing part of the brain or using a laser to destroy a small portion of brain tissue that's causing the seizures. He says these surgeries are highly invasive and often come with side effects like speech impairment or memory problems, and they may not always work.
We want all of our patients to be seizure-free, and that's the goal that we're working towards.
Right now, Parker is one of a number of scientists doing clinical trials of a new minimally invasive therapy aimed at healing the brain through the injection of cells that over time become part of the brain and hopefully help repair it.
What cell-based therapies are trying to do is restore that normal balance between things that are exciting the brain and things that are inhibiting the brain, and normalize that balance so it's less likely for a seizure to occur.
It's still early in the clinical trials, and the research is now focused on safety and efficacy of this therapy, but Parker says it's already providing some hope.
If this one goes through and it's positive and it helps patients, I think it opens up things for the future for these other disease processes too.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The Mayo Clinic in Florida also has another clinical trial that is ongoing in patients with severe epilepsy. Scientists there combine deep brain stimulation with the implantation of special stem cells in the hopes the procedure can better change the way the nervous system carries information to and from the brain during a series of techniques called neuromodulation.
A dozen teens are charged after police say they broke into an empty East Nashville home for a house party. Metro Police tells WSMB4 the teens, who ranged in ages from 14 to 17-year-old, were from 5 different high schools. All were arrested and charged with felony vandalism and aggravated criminal trespassing. The empty house on Riverside Drive was for sale. The homeowner was aware of neighbors seeing the individuals crawling in and out of the home. Damages were found on the walls and cabinets. Floors were soaked with alcohol. Light fixtures were ripped out of the wall. Damages are estimated around $16,000. Stay tuned for the Political Corner right after the short break.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro.
Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, and that frog will boil. As veterans, we can tell ourselves the lie that it's easier to stay in that boiling water, to disconnect. But you've never been interested in easy. You are not a frog.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Political Corner. My name is Clark Klassen. New Jersey Democratic Senator Cory Booker broke the longest standing Senate floor, marking history this week with a total of 25 hours and 5 minutes. Booker began his speech at 7 in the evening this past Monday with a vow to keep his protest going as long as he was physically able. Booker says he was holding the floor in the spirit of the late John Lewis, a civil rights icon and longtime U.S. Congressman. Booker has now overtaken Senator Thurmond's record, which involved Thurmond speaking against the 1957 Civil Rights Act. President Trump's administration is admitting that immigration officials made a paperwork mistake when they arrested a Baltimore man who was an immigrant from El Salvador with a legal status last month. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, arrested Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia March 12th after he finished working a shift as a sheet metal apprentice in Baltimore. Garcia was heading to pick the 5-year-old son who had autism and other disabilities from his grandmother's house. That's when ICE approached him and Garcia and sentenced him to be deported. Garcia was sent to the Terrorism Confinement Center, or CECOT. Activists allege that the CECOT is heavy with abuse, that inmates are stuffed together in cells, and that inmates are never even allowed outside. Garcia this last Monday received a court filing from the U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement Office. Their officials admitted that in a court filing that it was an administrative error. Garcia's deportment sparked outrage from immigration advocates. This comes after the U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance actively advocated, along with other administration officials, that the allegations are true and that Abrego Garcia is a gang member. Tensions between the U.S. and China are reaching college campuses, and now Chinese international students are finding themselves stuck in the middle. Across the country, students from China studying the U.S. are facing growing pressure caught between international politics and the pursuit of education. Under policies like the Trump-era Proclamation 10043, over 1,000 student visas were revoked due to concerns over military ties. Now, proposed legislation in Congress could ban Chinese nationals from studying in the U.S. altogether. Critics argue that this would hurt American research and innovation, while supporters claim it's about national security. On campus, Chinese students who speak out against their government are also facing threats, like one student at Purdue who was harassed after showing support for the Tiananmen Square protests. University officials condemned the threats and said everyone trying to silence free speech would face consequences. As U.S.-China relations remain strained, many of these students were navigating more than just academics. In a move that's stirring political debate, the Trump administration has directed federal prosecutors to seek the death penalty for Luigi Mangione, the 26-year-old accused of assassinating United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Attorney General Pam Bondi described the act as, quote, premeditated, cold-blooded assassination, end quote, and emphasized the decision aligns with President Trump's agenda to combat violent crime. However, this decision has sparked controversy, particularly among younger demographics. A recent poll indicates that 48% of college students view the killing as somewhat or totally justified, reflecting a complex perspective on the case. Media outlets like Politico suggest that pursuing the death penalty for Mangione could potentially alienate Gen Z voters, a demographic known for its distinct views on justice and corporate accountability. As the legal proceedings unfold, the nation remains divided on the appropriateness of the death penalty in this high-profile case and its potential impact on the upcoming election cycle. President Donald Trump made a heads turn this last Sunday as the president made remarks on possibly finding ways to allow him to be voted for a third term. This comes shortly after Trump stated that he was interested in running for a third term. But currently, the 22nd Amendment is currently all that stands in the way of preventing Trump from running again for a third term. Trump told NBC host Kristen Welker that he was not joking and that there are methods which you could do it. Well, that's all I've got for the Political Corner. Stay with us after the break for weather.
Black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
Yeah, I know. That's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter. When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Thank you for sticking with us for your weather. I'm Brooke Lisenby. Taking a look at our current national temperatures, over here on the West Coast, we have Los Angeles sitting at 84 degrees, as well as Denver also sitting at 84 degrees with plentiful sunshine. Moving along to the Great Lakes region, we have Chicago sitting at a very chilly 46 degrees with mostly cloudy skies throughout the afternoon. Moving up north, we have 49 degrees here up in New York, as well as some rain showers throughout the afternoon. And finally, moving into our southeastern region, we have Atlanta sitting in the mid-60s with partly cloudy skies throughout the day. Taking a look at Montgomery County for our local temperatures, we have 59 degrees and 18% chance of rain with north-northwest winds sitting at 14 miles per hour and partly cloudy skies. Tonight we're looking at 37 degrees with wind speeds up to 15 miles per hour and a 14% chance of rain, again with some cloud cover. Taking a look at our 5-day forecast, again we're at Friday for 59 degrees as our highest, 37 degrees for our lowest. Moving along to Saturday, we are bringing back out the sunshine. We have 64 degrees being our highest and our low of 40 degrees. Sunday, we are warming up a bit at 77 degrees being our highest and our lowest of 63. Monday, partly cloudy skies with 78 degrees as our highest and our lowest of 48 degrees. And finally on Tuesday, we are sitting back at 66 and our high and low for 40 degrees with sunshiny skies. That's all we have for today's weather. Stay tuned as APSU will be back with your campus sports after this short break.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Yeah, Sam, Elmo.
Oh, hey, Julia. Are you ready to play band with us? I'm gonna play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Attention governors, midterms are coming up. Did you know that you can use the APSU Writing Center for help?
The center offers one-on-one consultations to help students at any stage of the writing process, from brainstorming to revisions. It's a place away from distractions so you can clear your mind and focus on your paper. The center is on the first floor in the back of the library, past Starbucks. The writing center is by appointment only, so come on down and set one up today. And remember, and always, let's go P.
Hello, I'm Hugh Wheeler, and here's the latest in Clarksville sports. Austin Peay baseball dominates its competition during a 13-game win streak. The Governor's offense has scored double-digit runs in 7 straight games after beating Middle Tennessee State 14-10 here in Clarksville Wednesday. APSU leads the Atlantic Sun Conference with an 11-1 ASUN record. Stashville travels to North Alabama to increase their lead before a date with former Ohio Valley Conference rival Morehead State on Tuesday. Governor's softball is no longer in first place in the ASUN after dropping 5 of their last 8 games. Austin Peay won 24 games in a row prior to the slump. APSU moved last weekend's Bellarmine home series to Murfreesboro to avoid last weekend's storms. Stashville won 2 of their 3 games against the Knights at MTSU's Blue Raider softball field. The Governors returned to Clarksville Tuesday to face a previously postponed game against rival Murray State. Austin Peay lost to the Racers 5-6 in 8 innings. APSU remains home for this weekend series against North Alabama beginning tomorrow at 1 in the afternoon. Austin Peay men's golf concludes the regular season with the A-State Intercollegiate beginning this Monday in Jonesboro, Arkansas. The Governors begin the postseason with the week after with the Atlantic Sun Championships at the Kinderloo Forest Golf Club in Valdosta, Georgia, starting April 22nd. APSU women's golf finished in 7th place at the Tennessee Spring Challenge in Knoxville on Monday. Senior Maggie Glass led the Govs with a 6-over-par score and finished in 17th. Austin Peay begins the postseason Sunday with the Atlantic Sun Championships at the RTJ Trail at Hampton Cove in Owens Crossroads, Alabama. Governors men's tennis concludes their season this weekend with 2 road matchups in Florida. Austin Peay won their 6th match of the year at the St. Louis Billikens on Tuesday. APSU plays Stetson today in DeLand and FGCU Sunday in Fort Myers. Austin Peay women's tennis defeated Central Arkansas 5-2 on Sunday to move above 500 in conference play. The Governors travel this weekend for 2 more conference games before taking on the Atlantic Sun Championships in Jacksonville, Florida, beginning next Thursday. Austin Peay Beach Volleyball has lost 9 matches in a row after dropping all 3 matches at the ASUN North Tournament last weekend and again this morning to Missouri State. The Govs continue competing in the Blazer Beach Bash in Birmingham, Alabama against Chattanooga at 3 this afternoon. Governors Track and Field had 3 top 5 finishes at the Joe Walker Invitational in Oxford, Mississippi last weekend. Sophomore Mia McGee finished in 2nd place in the 400-meter dash. Austin Peay takes this weekend off before going to Walnut, California to participate in the Mount Sac Relays. That's all for sports. I'm Hugh Wheeler. We'll be back with more after these messages.
Great having you. Incredible women. I wish they had those kind of cool careers for women when we were growing up.
So in this flashback, we're all the same age?
Yeah.
What does everyone want to be when they grow up?
If I say 2 jobs, do I get extra credit?
No.
I want to make immersive video games. I want to revolutionize 3D printing. I want to analyze data from the cloud.
I want to be a meteor.
You mean meteorologist?
No.
That's great, Al. Follow your dreams.
For the record, I was a baby in the 70s.
Oh, man. I can't believe I'm missing this. Okay, Grandma. I see you.
Don't get stuck at home with the flu. A flu shot is the best way to prevent the flu and its potentially serious complications. It keeps you, your community, and loved ones protected. Don't get flu FOMO. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Welcome back for some news to hopefully brighten your day or fill your calendar. The restaurant Chili's has opened a new location just miles from Scranton, Pennsylvania, inspired by an episode of The Office set at one of their stores. It has been almost 20 years since Michael Scott awarded different Dundies to his employees at a Chili's restaurant on the hit show. The franchise at this new location will have a unique design compared to the rest. It will include references to the Dunder Mifflin Paper Company, a menu with Scott's order of Awesome Blossoms, and a mid-2000s design to match the show's timeline. This new Chili's had its grand opening last Monday, featuring a special Scranton margarita made available at all locations that day. Several actors from the Emmy-winning show have been appearing in ads for the franchise leading up to the opening. Chili's Chief Marketing Officer George Felix expressed how special this Chili's is to the company. Will Smith has a new album out, and he says it is a product of his self-reflection from the last couple of years. Smith has struggled to move past his relationship problems being made public and the drama from the 2022 Oscars when he slapped Chris Rock. The Oscars incident resulted in his 10-year ban from the event. Many other performers had condemned Smith's behavior that night. Smith says he needed time to reflect and understand himself on a deeper level. Smith also says those challenges pushed him to channel his feelings into music. His new album, called Based on a True Story, has already been released. It has a more serious tone compared to his previous work. Smith is also gearing up for his first big tour this summer and plans to release 3 more albums later this year. Austin Peay State University history students are bringing Clarksville's past to life with a series of downtown walking tours. Partnering with the Customs House Museum and Culture Center, these free tours will run from April 24th through May 3rd. Under the guidance of Dr. Kate Leah Bratton, students have researched topics ranging from economic shifts and natural disasters to influential women, Black history, and the tobacco trade. Dr. Leah Bratton emphasizes that local history is the beating heart of public history, highlighting the importance of connecting the community to its roots. All tours begin at the Customs House Museum with varying times and subjects. For a complete schedule and to sign up, visit customshousemuseum.org.
Get ready to hop into some fun because Montgomery County's exciting tradition is back. The Parks and Recreation Department is holding its second annual Easter egg hunt this Saturday, April 12th at Sativian Park on Bellamy Lane. And this isn't your average egg hunt. A helicopter will be dropping eggs from the sky. The day kicks off at 9 a.m. with the first ever adaptive Easter egg hunt for all ages. Then, the fun continues every 30 minutes starting at 10, with age groups from toddlers to teens. It's free and festive. For more information, call 931-648-5732. You do not want to miss this drop. A new park is coming to the city of Franklin. Planners last week broke grounds for the new Pearline M. Bransford complex. The park, nicknamed the Pearl, will be on the southern-eastern side of the city and will have different sports fields like lacrosse and football. It will also have a playground called Ellie's Dream World and an ADA accessible riverwalk and restroom. Future plans include more sports fields, sand volleyball courts, a clean water facility, an education walking trail along the Harp River, and more amenities. The University of Maryland's 2025 graduates will be leaping into the futures with no other than Kermit the Frog. The University of Maryland teased this with a video on their social media and had to say, quote, "The beloved Muppet and legendary frog will return to the campus where he was created to share an inspiring message with our 2025 graduates." End quote. The Muppets creator Jim Henson graduated from the University of Maryland in 1960.
So, that Easter egg hunt you mentioned, it sounds like a lot of fun.
It is actually, and I actually have a Saturday off for the first time for my work. So I was actually thinking about taking my sister and her little kids there. She's been talking to me about how she wants to get out of the house. She's a single mom. So I think it'd be really nice to, especially get to see the kids running around with the people their ages too.
Oh yeah, I hope lots of families come and show out for it and just have a good time celebrating Easter, spring holiday. I mean, it's right around the corner. We're about to have a 3-day weekend next week. I'm excited.
Especially, I kind of want to see this helicopter drop too. I've never seen anything like this. And especially if there's fun for all ages, I'm gonna try to get in some of this candy too, for sure.
I feel that.
But do you have any final projects that you're starting to have to get in the grasp of?
Oh yeah, I feel like the end of the semester is right around the corner, so all these final projects are piling up. As a broadcast major, I have a lot of videos I got to shoot, interviews to take care of, just completed a Vox Pop. I had a lot of fun with it, and then, for radio side, I got to record an episode over there too, so just lots of things going on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Make sure to follow us on Facebook at APSU TV Clarksville and Instagram at APSU_TV. Thank you for watching your APSU TV News Update. We'll be back next time, and as always,
let's go Peay.